What's good, guys? Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel, and today I would like to bring y'all the latest updates and latest news about the city of Medellin, Colombia, an American citizen who chased out a working girl at Las Barbies after she had set him up a few months ago. This girl finally got arrested by the police, and she is gonna be sent to prison. Coming to find out, she's also part of Las Barbies, who was a group dedicated to set up, scope, and also robbing foreigners around Gerrard's Park area. Let's jump in this video and let's speak about this. Working girl woman who allegedly scalped and robbed a foreigner in Medellin at Gerrard's Park was captured for the second time. The woman is allegedly part of Las Barbies, a group dedicated to contacting their victims through social media, meeting them in public establishments, and convincing them to go to her accommodation for supposed intimidating encounters. The capture of R0bs in Las Barbies in Medellin, Antioquia, after the viral complaint of a foreign citizen who accused her of scalping him with scopolamine and selling his belongings, revealed the continuity of the operation of a criminal network known as Las Barbies. The case, widely disseminated on social media on Friday, August 29, rekindled the debate about security in one of the most touristic areas of the city and the presence of the R0bs in the area, which sometimes becomes the bait for some foreigners seeking for this type of service. The situation came to light when the foreigner, after surviving the effects of the scopolamine, returned to Gerrard's Park to identify and confront the woman who, according to his testimony, had knocked him into unconscious, stolen a laptop, a cell phone, cash, coins, and bank cards. The victim reported that after ingesting a small amount of a drink offered by the accused, she lost consciousness for approximately 20 hours. She set me up and gave me a drink. She stole my computer, phone, coins, and money. Then I woke up 20 hours later and I'm lucky to be alive. The complainant explained to the people present and the police, assisted by a translator. The sequence of events was recorded in two videos that circulate on social networks. In the recording, the foreigners identified the woman in Gerrard's Park and confront her directly, accompanied by agents from the R0bs Metropolitan Police. Faced with the confrontation, the accused tried to walk away, but the complainant insisted on his accusation, stating that there were images from security cameras. The complaint and the viralization of the case prompted an exhaustive investigation that led the capture and prosecution of the woman. Authorities determined that the woman was part of Las Barbies, a criminal network dedicated to contacting mainly men, scalping them and robbing them of their belongings. Today, the investigation has identified 47 victims in 24 different incidents in Medellin, with losses that exceed more than $1 million. Metropolitan Police of the R0bs, faced with the confrontation, the accused tried to walk away, but the complainant insisted on his accusation, asserting that there was a security camera photos linking her to the robbery. The woman had already been captured in March of 2025. On March 28, 2025, a joint operation by the Prosecutor Office, the Second of the National Police, and the Mayor Office of Medellin became known, which resulted in the capture of 5 women linked to Las Barbies. Among those arrested were Maria Alejandra Salgado Ortega, Maria Cecilia Almanza Corrales, Luisa Fernanda Castaño Zapata, and Michelle Valeria Sanchez Galindo. According to the Prosecutor Office, at least 23 victims have been identified up to that point, including citizens of Norway, Mexico, the United States, Australia, Germany, Russia, and Colombia, with losses exceeding 600 million pesos. The network Modus operandi consisted of contacting the victims through social networks, meeting them at public establishments in the El Poblado, Laureles, Belén neighborhoods, and after spending several hours together, convincing them to go to their accommodation for supposed intimidating encounters. There, the victim receives substance that causes them to lose consciousness, which is facilitate the theft of money, banks, cars and luxury items in the rise. Authorities say it 1,000 euros, $2,784, 10 Peruvian soles, 1,300 Argentine pesos, 5 cell phones, 3 high-end watches, bottles, and all the substance. The detainees face charges of conspiracy to commit a crime, aggravated theft. Both aggravated. The judge in charge of guarantees ordered a prison sentence for Salgado Ortega, Almanza Corrales, and Castaño Zapatas, while Sanchez Galindo remains deprived of her liberty at her residence. I've been saying that it's more easy for these groups, for these women, to get foreigners like Americans, Australians, Europeans to fall in those traps, because majority of these foreigners who are here, for a short time, not for a long time, they don't try to get revenge. Like if this gangs, if this group of women or people that were dedicating to set up Colombians like they were doing back then, the history would have been gone a long time ago. A lot of these people would have disappeared, because when they set up a Colombian, they know now they just gain another enemy, because every time the Colombian person who was beaten seeing this woman, they know they got to fight, or either, they got a problem. Long story short, like this woman thought that beating, he was already at home, crying, complaining about what he lost, his phone, bank cards, coins, all of that. She thought that the game was perfect, that her work was done really well, but she didn't think that this man was gonna hire this man that is also a superhero. This man was gonna hire a detective, and he was gonna find who that woman was. He got some pictures, some footage about some videos about the woman going to her building, living, all of that. So he got enough evidence to find this girl. And majority of this case, that when these working girls they know working girls, because working girls will give you the service, leave. These women are gang members, like they belong to those groups. You know what I mean? So a lot of these women, they will do a work, and if everything goes well, they win, and the tourists lost, the travel lost, belongings, cell phones, wallet, watches, computers, all of that. They will return to the place like maybe 2 weeks, because at the beginning of the thing, everything is gonna be had. The foreigner is gonna go back to the place to where he met her. Of course, she won't be there because she make enough money to relax 1, 2, 3 weeks, even for months. A lot of these girls, if they got the right person with the right amount of money, they don't have to go to do that thing, because that's a job that they don't do that every day. They gotta be selected, and once they got the fish, they gotta make sure that the fish is big enough to fit everybody on the group, everybody, every members of the group. You know what I mean? So fellas, the current situation that we have now is that a guy that I had to clap this guy, because like I said, majority of the foreigners, once that happened to them, they would leave the country. They would get scared, and the vacation is ruined immediately. You know what I mean? I had hear about some cases that people that arrived the same day and late in the night, the same night, this happened to them. They got a scalp and they got set up by a girl, and the next day they're trying to find, like a flight to get home. But this guy, he was very persistent, and he probably won't recover, his money and stuff like that. But this guy gained respect in the community. This guy, he found a translator, somebody who could help him, and he really won this time. She won last time she saw him, but now the guy is winning now, because this guy is gonna be probably sent to prison. You know what I mean? And a lot of brothers, they don't know, but I explained this a while ago in one of my videos, that in Colombia, when you have a case, they say you are beaten of robbery or something, you had to go to the police office many times that we call you, and if you don't go, you don't report what they had done to you, these people will walk out free like in 48 hours or 72 hours. They will let them go, because even they commit a crime, but they don't have, if you don't complain at the police office, you don't make the reports, these people will walk out free in majority of the case. They can catch them doing, if they catch them doing the thing, it's different. But as a victim, you have to go and complain. So my advice, if you are a victim of robbery or something, you have to go to the police office and complain if that's what you really want. Send these people to prison, and that's something that I think every victim of that they had to do. So fellas, this is the current information about this video. Also, when you come to Colombia, like I say in majority of my videos that I speak about this case, you gotta keep your eyes on your back all the time, because these women, they won't leave. They always will return once the things get calm, and idea from them returning to those places to find a new fish that they can eat with. You know what I mean? So fellas, I hope you guys like my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This was Carlos, a Colombian guy, and see you guys on the next video. Boom.